Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is NopNapNarp, and I've recently launched myself back into Lordran thanks to the release of Dark Souls Remastered. Now, I was a latecomer to the series as I didn't play Dark Souls until late 2015 when one of my college roommates brought it back with him after fall break. And boy was I in for a treat, as Dark Souls easily became one of those games that I was obsessed with, and spent every moment playing it that I could, and spent every other moment I wasn't playing it, wishing I was playing it. By the time I ended Gwyn's existence and gave myself up to the First Flame, I knew I needed more Dark Souls, and so I've spent a lot of time over the last few years playing through the trilogy alongside of Demon Souls and Bloodborne. I was eagerly awaiting Dark Souls Remastered so I could play it on my PS4 and eventually the Switch, and now it's here and I'm super excited about it. Walking through the Undead Asylum and through the opening levels of the game, I couldn't help but feel super nostalgic towards my first Dark Souls playthrough, and it got me thinking about nostalgia and video games. So in today's episode of Psychology of Gaming, the series where we analyze how developers work psychological principles into their games and how games can affect us psychologically, we examine how revisiting an older game can trigger that nostalgic feeling in us that takes us back to lovely memories of our video game past. So without further ado, let's jump straight in to today's video. So, if we're gonna understand why games can make us feel so nostalgic, we first must ask ourselves, what is nostalgia? I mean, I'm sure you've experienced it at some point in your life as you revisited a place, a person, or item that you haven't interacted with in a while, and felt that rush of bittersweet energy that has you remembering the past fondly, but regretting that it can't be relived. This is nostalgia. Our brains are trained to take in a lot of information so that we can better understand our surroundings and how to stay safe, and a big part of this is of course our ability to retain memories. We hold on to information about people, places, items, and events so that the next time we encounter them, we have a database of memories to pull from in order to help us react in an appropriate manner. Our ability to remember certain memories is strengthened when we associate that moment with an emotion. For example, you probably remember your first kiss and the details of that moment very well because it's something that represents a special moment that has lots of feelings attached to it. You most likely felt very happy during that moment when your lips met other lips for the first time, and the strength of that emotion helps solidify it in your long-term memory. Feelings of nostalgia come when we encounter something or someone that automatically reminds us of one of those special happy moments from the past. It leaves you feeling bittersweet, as I mentioned before, because that memory means a lot to you, but by that same token, it's kind of sad to realize that you can never have that same experience over again. In a way, nostalgia is kind of the opposite of regret. Regret leaves you feeling unsatisfied in the moment and wishing you could go back and change it later on, while nostalgia has you feeling happy about the moment and only sad in the sense that you wish you could relive it. It should also be said that we have to be quite careful when we are feeling nostalgic because it can very easily lead to a glorification of the past and a degradation of the present. In other words, if you can't shake the feelings of the past, they can overtake your perspective on your current life and manipulate you into feelings of depression and anxiety. This often happens with nostalgic feelings for a romantic relationship that has come and gone, and so it's just important to remember the past fondly without labeling it as the only circumstances in which you could be truly happy. Doing so, this glorification of the past can lead you down a bad road that will never allow you to grow as a person. However, when you avoid romanticizing the past and only engage with nostalgic feelings from time to time, it can certainly act as a very nice bit of individual therapy for us humans. Our memories and the nostalgia that spawns from them act as a reminder of our sense of self because it shows us where we've come from and the things that we've enjoyed most in life. Nostalgia and memories help remind us of our humanity. And speaking of humanity, Dark Souls Remastered came out recently, and it certainly has me feeling super nostalgic. See what I did there? Huh? Huh? Humanity? Dark Souls? Huh? Huh? Yeah, bad jokes aside, I want to talk now about video games and nostalgia. It is of my belief that one of the best things that we can experience nostalgia towards is video games, alongside other hobbies as well, because they are normally associated only with positive memories without much negative outcomes. For example, you can feel nostalgic for a relationship, but the memory of those good moments also comes with the anguish of those memories associated with the breakup. With video games, you don't have such a powerful sad moment. Oh, wait, no, oh god, not the Gwyn piano music. Oh my god, no, here comes the tears, no, stop, no, turn that music off right now. Anyway, the endings of video games can get you down, but not in the same way that the ending of a serious relationship can. And because of this, I think feeling nostalgic towards a video game is quite healthy. And I think feeling nostalgic towards video games is something that a lot of people have chased during the last 4 to 5 years. I mean, think about it. How many times did you hear the word nostalgic being thrown around when games like Shovel Knight, Yooka-Laylee, and Crash Bandicoot the N. Sane Trilogy were released? A lot. And it's gonna happen again when the remastered Spyro trilogy comes out in September. But for now, I'm sure a lot of people are feeling nostalgic towards Dark Souls as they boot up the remastered version for the first time. Because, well, I know I certainly was. Going through the Undead Asylum, and especially traversing the Undead Burg, has seen me reflecting a lot on my first Souls experience. Hell, I spent 20 minutes just sitting on the main menu screen listening to that now iconic music and thinking back to my first playthrough. It's just crazy to think that the first time I played this game, it took me about 2 hours to get from Firelink Shrine up to the first bonfire in the Undead Burg, and I felt so proud for overcoming those super tough enemies. Now though, I just go through slaughtering every enemy easily and feeling like a brick shithouse for owning this easy game. Of course, I'm kidding, these games still aren't easy, but it makes me realize how much time I've happily spent with this series and how my ability to play these games has come so far since my first experience with Dark Souls. I'm sure I'm not alone though when I say that it's nearly impossible to recapture the magic that you associate with your first time playing through a Souls game. Everything was just so cryptic and mysterious and challenging that doing just about anything had you feeling super accomplished, but now that feeling is hard to recapture. And that's where the nostalgia really kicks in. I know I'll never be able to relive that first playthrough again, and that does upset me a bit, but playing this remastered version has left me quite happy as I reflect on just how much fun this series has brought me and millions of others as well. Playing through Dark Souls Remastered has been one of the most positive experiences I've had with nostalgia so far in my life, and I can't wait to get back in there, die a million times again, explore every nook and cranny, and think back to my first trek through Lordran and just how far I've come. And that brings us to the end of today's video. I know this one was a bit shorter, but explaining nostalgia isn't super complex, and it's also a sensation that varies greatly from person to person because it's based on our individual experiences. If you enjoyed this video, I've left some links in the description for you to check out. There's links to more information on nostalgia, an ongoing co-op run of Dark Souls 3, and some of my other Souls content. So check that out if you desire. Playing the remastered version of Dark Souls has really made me want to do a retrospective on the series, or at least the Souls trilogy, so keep an eye out for that. I may just do that instead of an actual review of the remastered version, but who knows, I may do both, only time will tell. Anyway guys, let me know what you think about Dark Souls Remastered and other games that you feel nostalgic for in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing for more. And as always, have a nice day, and take care.